Court calls the matter of Saunders versus Weaver, case number 2021-5354 DC. If all parties and attorneys could please state their name and appearance for the record, starting with plaintiff's attorney, Mr. Vanderhorst.
Thank you. Attorney Jonathan Vanderhorst on behalf of Ronald Saunders.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ronald Saunders is here. Is the plaintiff here? Sorry, is the defendant here?
Keeps cutting in and out.
Okay, there's Miss Weaver. Today's date and time set for a hearing. This matter is being done by remote technology due to the decisions of the Chief Judge and Supreme Court. Contents of this video may be the official record of a proceeding of the state of Michigan's 9th Judicial Circuit. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, alteration of said content is strictly prohibited. Today's date and time set for a motion filed by Mr. Vanderhorst on behalf of Mr. Saunders to enforce the temporary order regarding pairing time that was entered, I believe it was April 12th. Well, first let me ask Miss Weaver, where are you residing now?
I gave them my address. I'm living in Park.
Where is that?
2437 Roosevelt Avenue.
And how long have you lived there?
I lived there the last 2 months.
And are you on a lease or are you living with somebody?
I have like a written rental agreement thing up, but I'm paying money there for the other half of her 2 rooms in her house.
Okay, so you're renting a room there?
Yeah, I'm renting out 2 rooms.
Mr. Vanderhorst, was your client aware that she now lives on Roosevelt Street?
I believe he was not aware of that, Your Honor.
Okay.
I didn't know I had to let him know that.
You have to let the court know, and with regards to the child, the other party should know when you are moving. What are you asking for at this time, Mr. Vanderhorst?
We're asking for temporary custody to plaintiff. Based on defendant's conduct, I can go through the events with you if you wish, Your Honor.
Okay. What are the allegations over the last few weeks that make you think your client think the child may be in danger?
Over the last few weeks, it started off on, it was actually before or right after the last order was entered. Defendant called and told plaintiff to pick up the minor child immediately from her care. Defendant had no food or clean clothes for the child, and plaintiff gave her $20 to borrow. Then on April 28th, which triggered us to file the motion, the defendant failed to appear for plaintiff's parenting time. Then on actually going back a couple days on the April 25th, defendant said she had COVID and had a quarantine for 14 days. Shortly after, defendant told plaintiff that he had come pick up the minor child, or she was going to leave the child alone at the Baymont Hotel.
That's not what I said.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Vanderhorst, hold on.
Yeah.
Ms. Weaver, please don't interrupt, okay? We're trying to make a record here, okay? Okay, thank you. Mr. Vanderhorst, you may continue.
Yep, okay, so she then said that she was gonna leave the child alone at the Baymont Hotel. Plaintiff then dropped off food and diapers at the front desk. On the 27th, April 27th, he again dropped off food and formula at the Baymont Hotel. On May 5th, defendant told plaintiff to come pick up the minor child at the Baymont Hotel. Plaintiff then went and picked the child up. May 9 and May 16 at 6:00 p.m. Defendant did not show up for her pickup for the parenting time. And on May 24, defendant told plaintiff that he needs to come pick up the child. So based on defendant's conduct and instability, it is in the best interest of the minor child for plaintiff to have temporary custody. Plaintiff has all the necessities and means to support the child. Plaintiff has concerns that defendant cannot provide for the minor child while in her care. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Weaver, those are the allegations. Do you admit or deny some of them?
No, I deny a lot of those. I would never tell him that I was going to leave my child alone in a hotel. We were on quarantine because my daughter tested positive for COVID. Ron kept bothering me, bugging me to let him see her many times. And he told me he was going to call the police on me because I wouldn't let him have her. I told him she was not allowed to leave my care until we were off quarantine. The day we got off quarantine, it was actually 2 days before that, I let him come get her early because it was his weekend to get her. The times that he's saying that I didn't show up at Myers, I did. And I do have 2 witnesses that will come to court with me. One of them is my family's first worker, because instead of meeting us at checkout lane 15, Ron was meeting us out in the parking lot. And the one day that I went there to meet him in the parking lot, he wasn't there. He claims he was inside the store at checkout lane 15, but he never told me that he was going to be there in a different vehicle. I did not see his truck. The one time just recently, this last Sunday, I was there at 5:48 sitting in the fire lane at Myers. I walked inside and was at checkout lane 15 until 6:08 and didn't see Ron. And he knows that I don't have a phone at this point. When I got back on the internet, I had a missed call from him saying, oh, I didn't show up. So he left with the baby. But I mean, there's workers there. And I actually made sure to get one of them to sign a receipt stating that I was there, just because I had a feeling he would do this. I do have a place to live, and I would like somebody to investigate that or have CPS or something be involved, because I have somewhere to live with my daughter and he's telling lies. I have been there every time to pick my daughter up. He just is meeting me. So he's not where he says he's going to be. And he just texted me earlier asking if we could do a place where we can check in and check out. But I mean, Myers is a public place and I don't see anything wrong with that, but I need him to be where he says he's going to be, because I haven't had my daughter almost all this month because he's kept her the last 2 Sundays. This last Sunday, I wasn't able to get a complaint in because it was a holiday and we have court today. So, I mean, there's complaints coming through in the mail.
Mr. Vanderhorst, is it possible, if she is a family's first worker that would testify, is it possible your client may have been mistaken about the dates or times?
I don't believe, I don't believe he has been mistaken, Your Honor.
I do, because her name is Emma, and I can gladly get you her number. And Ron actually just talked to my ride that brought me up there the other day, the girl I live with, and she talked to him on the phone, and he tried to also tell her that I wasn't there and I was late, and she specifically told him she was here on time because I was her ride. She's more than willing to come too. I mean, we were there. I took a picture.
Ms. Weaver, do you work?
No, I'm on Social Security, but I'm looking for a job, yes.
So you do have some money coming in, correct?
Yes, sir. But I don't agree with him having custody, or I don't agree with it at all.
Well, I will set it for a hearing because I have 2 very different stories. I don't have any evidence that, ma'am, not now. Just let me finish.
Well, I mean, I just had a question that had to do with what we're still talking about. It's still my parenting time day and he has not returned my child to me. Can I please have her back from him today so I can have my time until Wednesday?
Okay. Mr. Vanderhorst, does your client have the child?
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
And is it Mom's Day today?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. Can your client get the child to the mother?
I believe he can, Your Honor.
Okay. Then I'll have that done by, I guess we'll meet at Myers today. What time works for your client, Mr. Vanderhorst?
Does 6 o'clock work for you, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Pam, can you be at Meyer aisle 15 at 6 o'clock today?
Inside at aisle 15, I'll be there exactly at 5 minutes till 6. How long would you like me to wait, Your Honor?
Hold on, let me ask with Miss Weaver. Miss Weaver, will you be there?
I get there early every time I go to pick her up. So as long as he's there between 5:40 and 6 o'clock, I mean, I'm there always. He's the one that usually shows up a little bit late.
Okay, so it'll happen tonight at 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
And it'll happen tomorrow on Wednesday to exchange back at 6 o'clock. And this is what I'm going to ask each party. I'll put this in a temporary order. If the other party does not appear, you are to purchase something, the cheapest thing you could find at Meyer, and you will present this court with a receipt. So if Mom has a receipt, I don't even know if Meyer tells you which aisle, but I don't like playing games because this is getting childish. If mom has a receipt that she's there at 6 o'clock and she buys something at 6 o'clock, I don't care if it's a 50-cent piece of gum, and I'll say, Dad, she was there, where's your receipt? And he doesn't have one, Dad's in contempt. Mom, if Dad has a receipt and you don't have one, you'll be in contempt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? It's going to be a paper trail.
Yep.
Because I don't know who's telling me the truth. So the order will stay in effect from April 12th. It's at aisle 15. I don't care if there's a blizzard. I don't care if it's raining. It's at aisle 15. If Myers happens to be closed, which would be, who knows? We just went through this with the pandemic. Ma'am, you file something immediately with the court, and Mr. Saunders, you contact your attorney. I'll set this, but I can't get it in before the trial date, so we'll probably just have this on the trial. The April 12th, 2021 order is the order of the court. You both must care for your children, feed your child, clothe your child, and be at the drop-off and pick-up points. And if the other side is not there, you are to purchase something at Meijer, the cheapest thing possible, and present the court with a receipt. If you tell me you lost the receipt, then it did not happen. Did we lose Mom? She just...
No, I'm still here.
Okay. So we'll set this motion for the same day as the trial. I'll encourage the parties to try to work something out, but if I don't see receipts, then I'll kind of know who's telling me the truth. So
Yes, sir.
any questions, Mr. Vanderhorst?
No questions, Your Honor.
Any questions, Ms. Weaver?
No, Your Honor. If I can later down the road request makeup parenting time days just for the last 2 weeks that I was supposed to have her, that would be something I'd like to ask, but not right this moment.
Well, that'll be set during the trial, but again, if it's his word against your word, I'm gonna need those other witnesses, so you'll have to present those at day of trial.
Not a
And then we'll
problem.
go forward from there. If something can be worked out, that's great. If not, we'll be here for this motion and the trial on July 23rd. We do have a June 29th, 9 a.m. settlement conference first. I expect all orders to be in effect. Mr. Vanderhorst, I'm going to have you put an order out that all prior orders remain in effect. The only difference is if neither party, or if a party does not appear at the Myers behind aisle 15 at 6 o'clock, then they shall present this court with a receipt proving that they were there at 6 o'clock-ish on the days of the exchange. And those are to be presented by the court to the court if there is a hearing on that. Any questions by anybody?
No,
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor, I do have a question.
Who's this? Go ahead.
This is Ron Saunders. My question is, how do you look at this, or what should I do in the case that this has happened numerous times? A day into her parenting time, she'll call me and say, I immediately need to come get the child, which I've been doing, because that tells me that there could be something wrong. Is that okay that I still continue to do so if those phone calls continue to happen?
Ma'am, are those phone calls happening?
No, I've called him twice in the past since this order's been in effect, and that was because the one morning I didn't have diapers for her, but I have plenty of those again. I had actually went to jail a week and a half ago and taken care of my warrant that I had that he brought up at our last court date, so that kind of, I lost a few things, but when I moved back to that house, I still have all of her stuff. I called him 2 times and asked him that for help. And he always says he's not going to use it against me or use it in court, and then turns around and does it. So I'll be sure not to ask him for help ever again.
Well, that's not what we want, ma'am, but let me tell you, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, I don't judge people because of poverty and issues like that. You got to get that together however you can. But if you're going to jail at 29, you got to get it together. You should not have a newborn if you're going to jail. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I've been trying to take care of it since before I even had my baby, but COVID stopped that. So that's not really my fault. And this is from something from 2 years ago. So mind you, Ron's on stuff for court and has trial coming up, and he's wearing a tether box. So I'm not the only one with a history.
No, but I'm the one that's dealing with you calling him. I encourage you to do that. And Father, I can't tell you what to do, but anytime the child's safety you think is in jeopardy, picking up the child would not be held against you. And Mom, I wouldn't hold it against you.
Yeah,
unless it's a constant repetitive thing.
I feel that that's the right thing to do, to try and reach out and ask him.
Yeah.
you know,
won't
it's
hold
in
it
their best
against you.
interest at the time, so.
Okay. So I can't answer your question, Dad, but child safety comes above all. Contact your attorney if you need any legal advice. But Mom, I encourage you, if there's an issue, I'd rather have you call Dad than give it to a stranger who may abandon the child if he
Yeah,
wants
I
to
wouldn't
go, if he gets a better offer, let's just say. A dad wouldn't do that, but a stranger or a new friend might.
No.
So all prior orders remain in effect except what was changed today. Encourage you to follow the parenting time order, and we will be back for a settlement conference June 29th and trial and motion hearing on July 23rd. Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Best of luck, everyone. We'll be adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Van Der Ost, if you could prepare that